Hello, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is having a happy Sunday so far. Today I'm here to do a messages from the other side reading, my perspective on the reading. I'm not a psychic, I'm an intuitive reader, and this is just my perspective on an unsolved case. And today we're going to be looking into Celeste, Rivas, and the singer D4vid, and his real name is David Burke. Okay, let's get the overall energy from spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit to through spirit to spirit. Let's get the overall energy that Celeste Rivas was in before her passing. We're looking for the overall energy that Celeste was in before her passing. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit. Okay. We're going to pull 2 cards. Let's get the overall energy that Celeste was in before her passing. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit to spirit, okay. And we have the 5 of Swords. Okay, for the overall energy, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, the keywords for this card are invitation, proposal, intuition, offer, visionary, peacefulness. The Knight of Cups could announce the arrival of an opportunity that will spin your life in a new direction. Could it be that a dream is coming true? You will need to decide if you can receive the ever after part of your dreams. And I'm getting Celeste's dreams was to not have to hide this relationship that she was in with D4vid. And then we have the 5 of Swords. Back to this card. D4vid could have proposed to Celeste, knowing that he couldn't really marry an underage person. Maybe he did it to satisfy her, to make her happy. Because I feel a sadness, like Celeste was sad in her final days. And then the 5 of Swords. Check out the imagery on this card. It describes the whole situation. 5 of Swords. He loses, but not what he most values in the manifesting chakra. When things are removed, it opens up an invisible door to up-leveling. Is he courageous enough to make this sacrifice, or is it long overdue? If you are steering in a new direction, you cannot progress with a monotonous crew. I feel like when D4vid started coming into fame, he was moving forward on a fast pace. But Celeste wasn't happy because she felt like or he wasn't happy with Celeste because he felt like she wasn't being obedient. The keywords for this card is no-win situation, breakdown, bickering, destruction, gloating threats. I feel like Celeste was threatening to go back home with her family because her and David were so used to being locked together at all times. But when David had to go out on these tours, Celeste had to, his relationship with Celeste was put on the back burner. And it was causing Celeste to want to go back with her family while he was out doing this. But there was friction in the days ahead. Let's clarify and see what was going on with Celeste. We're going to ask with her love and sexual relationships. It's crazy to even say this because this is a young girl. She had just turned 15 years old. I think when she passed, well, people don't know the timing that she was in this vehicle, but her birthday was September the 9th, I think, and they found her September the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. It was a day before or a day after her finding. I think it may have been a day before or a day after her being found. But it's not clear how she died or when she died. They found her body on September the 8th. And let's see what was going on. Let's clarify with some tarot. What was going on in Celeste's love and sexual relationships? From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Please give me a card. Spirit. From spirit to explain. Okay. The World in reverse. Seeking closure. Delays, lack of completion, stagnation, disappointed, taking shortcuts. And Celeste was disappointed. She was disappointed on how things was going. There could have been a lot of promises made to her. But disappointment. She was facing disappointment. She wasn't feeling, she felt like their situation was stagnant. This was a young girl that dreams were to be married, have a family, not realizing that you should be living your kid life and growing and evolving as a person, not involved in such a serious situation. King of Swords. Mind over matter. Do it by the book. Truthful, wise, legal matters. Rational, stern, precise, candid, detached. And I feel like David was very detached from reality, or is very detached. He was trying to do things by the book. I feel like he left Celeste behind because Celeste was underage and he didn't want to get caught with an underage girl on tour with him. And this made this relationship turn for the verse. We're going to go to another deck. We're going to see what was the vibe with Celeste and David right before her demise. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. It's unclear how and when she passed. Toxic. Drama, arguments, incompatible. And that was a toxic situation going on with these two. They were really incompatible. I feel like Celeste was a little innocent girl. And David was a confused monster. That's what Spirit put in my head to say. I don't know this person. I'm just delivering the messages from Spirit. But he was like a confused monster. And this little young girl was taking all of the abuse from this deranged person. Because David is and was deranged at the time that he was dealing with Celeste. What the Holy Spirit, what else? From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. I'm hearing Celeste say, I was afraid, I was lonely, and I wanted to go home. From spirit through spirit. Okay. Daydreaming. Head in the clouds, delusional hopes and dreams. And Celeste was delusional. She had hopes and dreams that things would get better, that her love for David could heal him, that they were going to go on and have a happily ever after. It was more, I know it's a big age gap. This was a child. David was also young. He's 20 years old now. It has been rumored that they met playing the game when she was around 11 or 12 years old. And David was a teenager. But it's diabolical to me to be with such a young person. But the most threat that David presented was his mind was very deranged and evil. What the Holy Spirit? What else? From spirit through spirit to spirit. What do you want us to know about this situation? From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Okay. Laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. And this is all Celeste wanted. She wanted happiness, joy, healing. And like I said, she thought that her love could heal this man's diabolical personality. Clingy, old exes, dead relationships, old ways. And the energy was I get that Celeste was very clingy to David. Like I said in the beginning, it clarifies it that they were always together. But when this tour came about, that's when there were always problems, there was always abuse, there was always control. That's what this relationship was. Because I'm getting that Celeste wanted to go home. She missed her family. I'm getting she could have been maybe still in contact with some of her family, not completely ghosted from them, but they didn't know where she was. They knew that she was with someone named David, but they didn't know where Celeste was. It's not like they could go pick her up, because he was keeping her hidden. Shattered, broken, nightmares, failures. And something shattered David. Maybe that things didn't work out the way he thought, or shattered that this had to come to an end because Celeste wasn't gonna stay and wait for him. Celeste wanted to go home and be with her family, and I feel like that caused problems between them. From spirit, through spirit, to spirit. Because David couldn't take Celeste on tour with him. Because there could have been people from the whoever he was signed with, if he had just people that would notice. And because she was missing, he couldn't just parade her around on tour. And that's when all the problems came. What, Holy Spirit, please clarify. It's too many. Give me one more card from Spirit. Okay. Chaos, upheaval, disaster, downfall. And chaos was around Celeste. Chaos was around this situation. It was a dark time. Okay. Let's go to my cards that I created. It's the deck that I use for these readings. We're gonna burn a little sage. And we're gonna pull a card from, we're trying to find out what happened to Celeste. And I created these cards, and I'm gonna pull a few of them. Let me straighten them out a little bit. Yes, I get a really almost scared feeling. Celeste was in a lot of fear before her passing. She was scared. And I feel like Celeste tried to run. She tried to leave. But she couldn't. Okay. Holy Spirit, from spirit, through spirit, to spirit. Please give us a card to help us see, find out what happened to Celeste. From spirit, through spirit, to spirit. Please give us a card that we need to see. From spirit, through spirit, to spirit. From spirit, through spirit, to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Okay. Running. Didn't I just say that? That Celeste was running. She was running. She wanted to get away. She wanted to go home. But he was so obsessed with Celeste. Look, coming home. I cannot make this shit up. This baby wanted to go home. This young girl wanted to go home. And he didn't want her to go home. He wanted her to stay hostage somewhere while he was out on tour. And that's what caused all of these problems. Let's get a timing card to try, and I'm just straightening them out to try to see no, I don't want a timing card. We will pull one last positive message to see if Celeste has something that she wants to say. In conclusion, my perspective on this situation is Celeste lost her life because she didn't want to be a slave anymore. She didn't want to sit up in the room and wait till somebody tour the world and they come back and grab her up or see her whenever they have a moment. This wasn't working for her because this was a child. Okay. White Light, Holy Spirit, what messages do you have? What messages do you have from Celeste that she would like? Okay. It says, I am not dead. I am not dead. Celeste is saying that her body might be dead, but her soul lives on forever. And let's get one more message. Holy Spirit, what else? It's like Celeste hasn't crossed over. It's like she's stuck. What other message do you have? From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. From spirit through spirit to spirit. Okay. I am surrounded by loving animals. And Celeste could have been someone that loved animals. And right now she's saying that she's in a place and she's surrounded by what she loves. And she just wants her family to know this. Anybody that knows her knows that she loves animals. And right now she's surrounded by what she loves. And she's not dead. Her soul lives on. Okay, I want to send my condolences to Celeste's family and everybody that's involved in this situation. And thank you for watching the reading. Please comment below. Until the next time, peace.